Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to an episode of These Are The Voyages. I'm the Captain, Captain Chase McKinney, and joining me for another journey and jaunt through the cosmos as we talk about some strange new worlds, my dear friends, Commander Eric and Commander David. How are you, fellas?
What's happening?
Hey, it's been a long time.
It has been a long time. It's back.
It's back.
We
got there.
I'm pretty sure we say this almost every time because something inevitably anymore seems to happen and we have to push things back a little bit.
Right. It's here, man. It's here. We did it.
We got it.
That's right.
Got a two for Thursday. Doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah.
Double Thursday.
It's not any better.
We'll get the marketing team on it and it'll be fine, guys.
Yeah. We'll just bring in Don Draper and he'll figure something out real quick.
Let's do the thing. He's
probably a little too expensive for our show.
You know what? We can dig something out the coffers and and then hope it works out.
Cushions.
That's right.
Get the penny jar out.
Oh man. Well, hey, it wasn't too long ago that we were together and we were like kind of sharing our thoughts about, the thoughts and predictions of like the season. We're going to obviously get to that and kind of see how it's maybe started to pan out. But I know there's been a little bit of traveling, there's been a little bit of R&R and just whatever in between. So how have you guys been? Like, what have y'all been up to? Or what are y'all going to be up to? How about that?
Nope. Our summer trip is over. We're just in. We're hunkering down before I get back into that grind. I don't even know when convocation is right now. I gotta figure that out at some point so I can make it.
One sure day they'll show up.
I mean, like, I haven't checked my work email, and I'm off contract right now, right?
Yeah.
So you can't get me to do anything right now.
Bro.
My summer class got canceled for low enrollment, so I'm not on contract. I'll figure it out. I'll show up one day and it'll be there. I'll check my work email sometime soon.
Oh shoot. It's funny you say that. Like, we got an email from our academic dean recently. It's like, hey, this is the schedule. Like, this is when we're gonna, have our faculty workshop, which is our beginning of year doohickey, and then like in the paragraph right below, it's like, we have a new university president, so we're gonna have like some kind of inauguration for him in October, and it says like all faculty are expected to wear their academic regalia, and I'm like, hold it. Like, does that mean I gotta fly back up to the university middle of October, wear my funny robes for a dude that's starting off as our new president?
Sounds like it.
I would hope not.
Like, ugh. So yeah, like it's gonna be like on a Friday for like probably like an hour.
I know, that's like, you can't make people travel for that.
Like, well, that's the thing. Like, we have like the mothership, right, in Indiana, and then we have remote faculty, and then we have another like campus in Arizona. So it's like, are the distance faculty and the Arizona folks, are we expected to just like fly up there? Because if that's the case, like, I'm just gonna like try and book a flight for like stupid early in the morning on a Friday, do my thing, hop a flight, and be back before bed.
Like, is he a president or is he a chancellor? Because you have different.
I mean, at our school, he's the grand poobah. I mean, he's the university president. He is the dude.
Yeah, because like I have a president, but I'm also part of a system. So we have a chancellor. There's 5 presidents, and there's the chancellor.
Yeah, chancellor's over all of it.
Presidents does one need?
Well, there's 5 different schools that each act independently. They're all accredited on their own, right?
Wow.
But they form a network, right? Like any big state. Like, you got the University of Texas for take that for example. You've got, your mothership in Austin, right? But then you've got UTSA here in San Antonio. You've got UTEP, El Paso, right?
You have
You've
Dallas.
got, and they Dallas. Each one is accredited on its own. It acts independently as its own president. Then there's the chancellor of the system.
I'm only going to say this one more time. I am not in academics. I know zero about it.
I can't wait to keep these academic conversations going, Eric. You know what I'm saying, brother? Oh, man. But, I don't really want to just... I mean, I'll do it if I have to do it, right? But, make it worth my while.
Hey, they got that. You got that company credit card? Because I'm not flying up there on my own dime for that.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to, that's the thing. I reached out to my department chair and I'm like, hey, did you see this? Can we talk about this on Wednesday in our faculty meeting? And anyway, we're going to talk about it. And it's if we're expected to be there, it's all right, department budget or something. Here we go. You're buying my plane ticket.
Need a nice lunch when you get there.
Yeah, at least a lunch. At least a to-go,
a Jason's Deli
sandwich. Yeah, box pre-wrapped
Here's a
sandwich.
box lunch.
You can grab a 12-ounce can out of the cooler on your way.
I can just see you just have sandwich in hand, and then here comes your president. Nice to meet you, Mr. President. Oh, okay, well, I'm leaving now. I'm going back to Texas.
Yeah, his last name is Pepper, by the way.
Okay.
Put that together. Come on, let it click together.
You got it. The Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't like
Anyway.
Dr. Pepper.
Man, you were in the
I
wrong
used to.
state.
I couldn't do it anymore. Way too sweet.
Yeah, I don't like it.
My dad, who's been going through his own medical treatments for the last almost year now, he's cut out sugar in part because of the treatments, and as a little treat to himself, he had a Dr. Pepper. First time in 8-9 months that he's had one. And he was telling me in the car ride, we went out to see family over the weekend, and he's like, man, this burns. It was super sweet and it burned. I'm like, I'm so sorry, Dad.
It burns.
Burns.
Oh man. Anyway, well, I just got back from camp with my daughter not too long ago, and I finally caught up on my rest, which is good. Had a good time. It was hot and humid, which was great, but had a good time, and she did too, and here we are. So, what are you up to, man? What are you up to, David?
Wow. Yeah, I haven't really been doing too much at this point. I mean, I always take my first week of July vacation where it's just project vacation, staycation, where I didn't get as much done as I'd want to, as per the usual.
Sure.
We are just doing a couple day trip. It'll be our first trip overnight without the baby.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, Grandma's gonna take him. We were like, you don't have to do this. It's we're not taking him with us, but we can find somebody else. It's no, it'll be fine. It's it won't be fine, but you think so. He's not a very keen sleeper at night. He'll wake up a few times, and you just hope that he gets through. Right. There's usually a point at night where he's up for an hour or two, and then he'll go down for another 4 hours or something like that. So, but we'll see. And now he's super active. He obviously not walking yet, but he will have you walk him around the entire house, just circuit, holding one hand, just stumbling around like a drunk guy, just touching everything. I've got those cabinet things, the little hook and latch deals.
Yeah.
So I've got to install those now because he understands cabinetry which is fun and cool, I guess. Also really loves the trash can for some reason.
It's just
would prefer him to like
exploring. He's
something
curious.
else. Yeah, but he wasn't much of a crawler. He didn't like crawling at all.
Was he a bum shuffler?
Eventually, yeah, but he just didn't like being on his stomach at all. And then he gets around now, though. He does this kind of like, it's kind of like he's not quite where the hands and the feet are working in tandem yet. So sometimes the feet will give him a nice hop, and then the arms will move him a little bit, and then he'll hop, and then he'll kind of scoot around with one leg, with just like doing the stanky leg with the other one. And then, and then he'll just like pop up randomly on stuff. He gets around though. He's mobile for the most part, but I think before too long, I feel like he'll definitely walk before 1, but I'm kind of curious to see in the next month if he'll actually get to the point where he's able to, stand on his own and maybe take a step or two. But yeah, he's just getting everywhere. So anyway, we went through the phase, getting into the phase of like, okay, I'm leaving you in here to play. And then you take 2 steps in the kitchen and he's just there. It's like, how the hell did you get here? Like, and he just sits there and like looks at you, and he just sort of cackles a little bit, and then he's just he's gone. So anyway, but we'll see how that all goes. So there's an island in Lake Erie, Put-in Bay. Me and my brother and my dad used to go up there quite a bit when we were younger, and we'd fish.
Nice.
And all that sort of stuff. So me and her and my wife and my brother and sister-in-law were all going up and staying effectively 2 nights, and just tool around on a golf cart, have some adult beverages, food, that sort of thing, just get away for a bit. But yeah, that's a big thing. It's not really a big thing.
Well,
you take small things right now.
Well, I mean, the fact that you're, getting after it and doing an adult only trip, good on you.
Yeah. We'll see when his first official like larger scale trip is. We're trying to get down to South Carolina before too long to visit some folks, but
okay.
We'll see if that happens this year. It might be more of a next year thing.
Okay. All right. Well, any other updates or any other stuff?
Nope.
No? All right. Well, I guess, do y'all want to get into this and talk Trek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, everyone. So this is your red alert. We're going into spoilerific territory as we talk about the first 2 episodes of Season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Hegemony Part 2 and Wedding Bell Blues. Okay, can I just first say how oddly satisfying it was to hear Anson Mount say, "And now the conclusion"?
Yeah, like I remember I said on our thing last week, this is the first like in this new Trek era that actually literally said "to be continued." As far as I don't think anything. I said maybe like season 2 of Lower Decks when Captain Freeman was arrested, maybe said "to be continued," but like it didn't pick up right in that immediate moment, right?
Right,
so
right.
Like the first time we've had like a true like cliffhanger.
Right.
And I'm very used to Majel Barrett coming on and being like, last time on Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, right. More on the First Lady of Star Trek in a moment.
That was like I'm so used to hearing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got the recap, right? Like we got the recap of it, and I'm just going to go a little bit out of order because I know we're going to go right through the episode and kind of like pick it apart and kind of talk about stuff. But I just want to like briefly talk about the opening credits. Is that okay? Like just kind of going slightly out of order.
They did change,
right? And it like one of the more obvious things is like, okay, we've added Martin Quinn. He's on the main lineup. Okay, Scotty's part of the main cast. Cool. But yeah, there were a couple shots that had changed and that had been updated. Like we had this like sweeping shot of one of the shuttles. We had was it Starbase 1? Is that what we're kind of talking about? Like with all like the biodomes basically, and we had like a couple different ships from the fleet kind of like chilling outside of it basically. What else am I missing? There were at least 3 different scenes that were different. There was the Starbase, there was the shuttlecraft, and one other one. Anyway, yeah, they added a couple of shots. And the thing that like sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, is what like one of my professors used to say. But like we're in the Kurtzman era, and I'm trying not to think too much about this, guys. But in past Kurtzman era shows, opening credits have been kind of clues into what to expect. So did that kind of idea kind of cross y'all's mind, like in terms of paying attention, or did y'all just kind of leave it alone? I'm genuinely asking.
I zoned out, right?
Yeah, same. Okay. Same. I did watch it, like the first episode. I did keep it on. I didn't like skip it, but yeah, I didn't think about it all that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I tend to skip the intro. I'm just skip intro.
I
Whoever
gotcha.
created that button on streaming services is like a hero. You used to have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
There are some opening credits that I will watch just because I like the music and I just like the stuff. But I guess I'm weird like that.
Yeah, they're just too long these days. And you ever notice the volume is cranked super high on them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Like there were some changes, and I was wondering. I'll probably like look at the opening credits like maybe one more time and just kind of see like if there are going to potentially be some clues to the season. Which I know they did that in Discovery. They did it in they did it in Prodigy. I feel like they did it in Prodigy. They certainly did it in Picard. I think Picard was probably one of the first ones that actually used the intro as like a clue to stuff in the season. So, anyway, the conclusion of Hegemony, which was almost 2 full years ago, almost. So we're back on the bridge, and we're in that moment of like, orders, Captain, like, what do you want to do? And this is just a very minor nitpick, but I was paying attention to his hair because it was disheveled at the end of part 1, and then it was like in Pike's Peak, like virtually perfect in part 2.
Celia Rose Golding's hair.
Recap.
Yeah, like very obvious. Some was like, it was just what?
I noticed that the first time, like we got some like cone head action going on. Like what's going on, man?
Yeah.
But I know Eric, like you sometimes like point this out, but I really liked, like the options, like give me ideas kind of thing,
Yeah,
like away, right out the
it's
gate.
Not just Michael Burnham. I'm not criticized. I said I wasn't going to do
Wow.
this. I said I wasn't going to do this.
Time. Does anyone have the time?
Head.
How quickly did that happen?
It's like not like, oh, I've got the answer. Let's just do this. It's, hey, give me some options. But I will say this. I did rewatch Hegemony Part 1, like right before I watched Hegemony Part 2. And in this it says, in Hegemony Part 1, the orders that came in from Robert April say, rendezvous with the fleet immediately. And then here in Hegemony Part 2, he's like, oh, but he didn't say immediately, did he? So there's a little error right there.
Maybe it was garbled.
No. Clearly, it's very obvious that in part one, he says immediately.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, like the basically like the idea is like, we need to basically put a tracker on this thing, but the only way we can really do that is like disrupt shields so that we can plant a dud basically, so we can track this thing wherever it goes. So ramming speed, people, ramming speed, hit it, question mark. And we do it, and yay. And then we get out of there, and like I get it, like I know it was like rendezvous type of thing, but like it felt like a little almost pointless to me. Like we leave space for like that area for like 3 minutes for us, and then we're back at it like the rest of the time. Did it feel weird to y'all?
Well, I mean, for me, the only thing that felt weird is that you just rammed a ship, and then there was some repair, obviously, but I mean, you punched a hole in this Gorn ship, which had been taking all of your fire, and that was even said here. It's like, we've given it all we've got, and it's not doing much, and your shields are going down and all this sort of stuff, but somehow you survive that to just jump straight to warp. Like, if it's just like a nitpicky real in quotations realism thing, but
did they hit it? Was it a direct collision or was it a graze? Because it was a graze.
Well, I mean, I think there's like,
it looked like a Crunchwrap Supreme to me, my man.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, all I'm thinking about is like the momentum of things. It's like, so you're definitely grazing the saucer section. What's right behind the saucer section? The nacelles.
Mm-hmm.
So like, no debris in the nacelles. We're all good. I don't know.
No, but I do get your point, Chase. It's like we have to leave, and it felt more like a TV thing. We needed to leave just to catch our breaths for a moment for us as an audience to come down, right? And I mean, as far as just like to keep the tension high the whole time. Right. But it did feel jarring. We had one conversation with Admiral April, and then we're back in the fight.
Right, like, and I know that we're gonna deal with like a time jump at the end of this episode going into the second one. I mean, we're talking about the first two episodes, for crying out loud, in this in this discussion. But it would have made more sense to me, like if it would have been like a couple days or a week, like, I mean, like, this thing is the 1701, right? It's already kind of old. It's had multiple COs on this thing. It's not an Enterprise E staring down a scimitar, right, in Nemesis, like, and ramming that. Like, this is like a seasoned ship. I mean, I guess it's like a Timex, right? It's going to take a licking and keep on ticking, I guess, from what we saw. But, like, yeah, I mean, like, you're ramming right into that thing, and then you're going to jump to wherever the fleet is, and then you're going to have a kumbaya session with, Admiral April, and then just zip right back. And then do all the stuff that we see them do. Like, I mean, yeah, I know, like, we're going to be, like, fleshing out, like, Scotty and, like, him eventually becoming this miracle worker that we know him to be in original series in the movies, but anyway, I think that's, like...
Yeah, I think it would, if, like, we've been undergoing repairs while we're figuring out what to do and talking over the situation. It's been 3 days, and I'm anxious to get back there and get our people. Like, that could have been like a simple little voiceover captain's log.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have taken time.
No, and it would have, like, helped, like, make more sense. Like, in universe, make it more, like, even, what was it, like Wrath of Khan, right? Like, they had to, like, use like double speak, like coded speak, basically, to say, like, hours or, like, days, and so on and so forth. to know like when things are going to be right, be good, or like be minimal, right, for them to like zip around again. Anyway, we have our official and our unofficial kind of orders, so we're back in the fight, and we're gonna go try and get our missing crew, who they're in the belly of the beast with this. Like they were quite literally in the belly of the beast.
Like, we're in the belly of the beast, and I get like we want our cast members and our crew members to be like the heroes here, but there are like hundreds of colonists, right? Hundreds of people that got beamed to this Gorn ship, right? And the only 4 people that managed to get out and wake up are our 4 crew members. Nobody else can pop out of their thing, can wake up. Like, I get it. Like,
there's only one that can pop out on their own.
I know, but still.
Let's go, La'an.
I know, and they're doing their thing over here, and they're all like melty and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And, like, their idea is what? Like, we got to get off this ship and somehow get the authorization codes back to the Enterprise so they can beam us out of here or whatever. I don't know. It was like, I know we're not. I don't think there's much to talk about with them over there. I don't know if you guys do, but like, you know, Sam Kirk comes in there and it's like, I hope we don't run into any Gorn. Why did you say that?
Well, and then there's the magic gun hole
in the crap sack.
Yeah,
crap pile. Yeah.
No, but like, my thing is, there's the magic terminal that we just walk up to. Oh, yeah, this is a terminal, right? It doesn't look like a terminal to me. But just one launch, just put her hands on it. Oh, it turns on. Like, and I can read Gorn writing. Like, that's, to me, I always like when you can instantly operate an alien ship computer that you've never seen before. I always kind of like do a little eye roll at that. I know,
but I can give her credit though, Eric. I mean, like, we had the prior story, right, with her and her brother escaping the Gorn. So she's got familiarity, she's got knowledge. Was it maybe like flirting with jumping the shark? Maybe. But the fact is, like, she's knowledgeable when it comes to the Gorn. Like, maybe with technology, maybe with customs, maybe with whatever, and she used it to their advantage. Maybe she was able to identify something just with her being behind enemy lines once upon a time.
Yeah.
That made sense to me in my head.
She wasn't on a ship. She was on a planet. I mean, I feel like that's slightly different. I know that it happens. Like, we can work alien, but it's like, oh, I just know how to read this, and I know. It's not just I know how to read this, I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I can instantly see the authorization codes in this, right? So the first thing that comes up when I turn this computer on is the password that I need for everything.
Password is password.
Yeah. there is definitely a lot of kind of struggle in learning sometimes in the older Trek that sometimes I'll just say I miss. Like, I won't speak for you guys, but figuring out a problem and so forth. But again, more modern, the problems are sometimes so much bigger. So these like little tech things, it's just like a suspend belief. They're superheroes. They can do that, right? But yeah, I kind of agree. It is a little bit unbelievable.
There we go. Well, yeah, so like they're getting out of like their digestive sac prison things, and they've found terminals, and they're like running and gunning and trying to get out, and they run into Gorn dinos, have a little fighty fight.
And there was a firefight.
Yeah.
And in that firefight, Ortegas gets
gutted.
Yeah, like, jeez, man. She was also lost a couple fingers.
Yep.
Beforehand.
which we're basically there, okay? Like, we're basically at them, like, getting to, like, the Gorn ship shuttle pod thing. Like, okay. Like, if this is me, right, and I'm having to, like, ride a bicycle, okay, like, yeah, this is my strong hand, right? Like, I can hold on to like one handle pretty well. The other one, it's just there for decoration. You know what I'm saying? Like, like she's a skilled pilot, but like, I can fly any ship. Okay, Anakin, whatever you say, buddy.
But
like,
he could.
Like, reaching
over.
He
has a power that other people don't.
Listen, guys, listen to me. All you guys and people in listener land, her superpower is her haircut. Let's go. Okay? That's her superpower. But she's like straddling this thing like
a motorcycle, almost like a motorcycle.
Like a crotch. She's like riding like a freaking crotch rocky. You know what I'm saying? Like one of them Kawasaki ninjas.
We're at the arcade and we get on that motorcycle.
Yeah, cruising USA.
Tilted sideways.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello, David.
I don't have any problem with Ortega's because, like, you know, there's certain things like, you know, that have to be the same to piloting lots of different ships, and we see our heroes learn how to pilot alien ships pretty quickly, right? I don't have any issues with this at all.
But I think my issue with it is, though, like, there might be some kind of similarity, like with flight controls. Okay, fine, I can do that. But like, you're working with like 3 of your 5 digits on a console that you don't know how sensitive or not these things are, and oh, by the way, you're bleeding out.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, like, she's like losing consciousness too. Like, I mean, good for her, you know, that she was able to like fly everyone out and get to the bug zapper that is the Enterprise later on this episode. But like, that was just like, that was heart-wrenching. And then like, even like towards the end, like whenever she's like, I did good, right?
And she passes out.
Like that. I mean, that was good. That was like heart-wrenching, like watching her go through that.
Yeah. But I mean, let's all agree on one thing. There is a 0% chance that would actually be able to happen. Like, literally having Gorn hand go through you and all that stuff. Leave out the hand because maybe it was cauterized with the goo or something. I don't know. But like, literally being impaled, it does. It's a little bit of a stretch. Like, I'm not so much, you know, up in arms about flying an alien ship, although it's like, does this thing have 0 security to it? But whatever, that's fine. My whole thing is like, all right, so we've literally just like guts on the floor, but by God, I can still fly this thing.
I mean, I feel like I've seen movies and TV shows where people are shot. Sure. They're like shot and they're still in there. They get out of safety and then they pass out like right away. Yeah. Like, I like, it's a thing. It happens.
That's why they suspend disbelief a lot, because I mean, you kind of have to, but you know, if you want to nitpick it.
The thing that I'll just say this one last thing about like the ship, and then we can move on and talk about other parts. But like, the Gorn have tails, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, this is just the thought that was going through my head, like when they were piloting the ship. Like, how do we know that it's just like, you know, the Kawasaki Ninja, like, set up, and like that they don't need like their tail or something like connected to something? Like, that's just that's just the thought I was kind of having, like, with how their ships might work. But that's what I get for thinking. Sorry. That's fine. Okay, so we have like, I think the main thing, right? Like with Pike and company, like Pike and the bridge, like trying to shut down the Gorn, like stop them. It's this like push and pull. Like, we got to stop them. They're after us. We got to warn them, but we can't. warning, people back home. That is, but we can't
before that, we do have effectively early cloaking technology.
Yes.
So Scotty adapts what he had done on the planet into the shuttle under fire, because Peli is like that, to adapt it to the Enterprise. So I would assume this is like the first foray of the Federation into cloaking technology, which I don't know when, maybe you guys would know, but like when we would have effectively had that whole thing that said we couldn't do that.
The Treaty of Algernon.
Well, at the end of the Romulan War, the Treaty of Algernon, at the end of the Romulan War, right? Long before this, right? So yeah, we can't. This can't exist, right?
Well, and nothing was ever said about it, right? I mean, like any of the treaties or anything, it's like we're just going to do it because, like, I mean, we've used cloaking technology in other series. I mean, what was it, the Prometheus with its sort of multiphasic thing,
the Pegasus.
The Pegasus. Yeah, sorry. Pegasus. They both start with P. They're the same, right?
Prometheus is from Stargate.
That's true. But how big of a deal that was, and how big of a break in the treaty that was, and then obviously in DS9 getting cloaking technology and so forth. So that was kind of one of those things where it was just like, oh yeah, we just kind of casually have a cloaking device now. Okay.
I assume we just destroy it after this, right?
Did anybody say anything about destroying it?
No. But we don't know how it works. Like, I actually really enjoyed these scenes here between young Scotty and Pelia here, right? Yeah. It's like, did you not make notes while you were building this thing? I kind of didn't have time. I don't know how it works. It just works. Good scientist always takes notes. You got to be able to duplicate your experiment, or your results mean nothing.
Right. Yeah.
But I like it because you can tell Scotty is smart here, but he's still he's lieutenant junior grade, right? He's nowhere near being like the chief engineer of this ship yet, and he's got a lot to learn. And I like the teaching dynamic here of like you're creative, but you got no follow through, kid, right?
Yeah,
and
naturally intuitive.
Yeah, that's the phrase she uses. And then it's like, how long is this going to take? Weeks? It'll be done when you need it.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta learn, kid, right? These captains, they want things, and you gotta deliver.
Yeah. Same thing he passed on to Geordi,
Yep.
It's the
how long will it take
pass
you?
On.
I told the captain it would take me an hour. How long will it really take you?
An hour. Oh, you didn't tell him the actual time, did you?
They make that same thing is made in the movie Alien, which a lot of this Gorn stuff takes inspiration from the movie Alien. There's the chief engineer of that ship. He says they're talking. It'll take us about 16 hours, and they tell him 52 hours, or whatever the time they say. They do the same thing, but I like this, like her teaching Scotty here how to figure this out, and then. Then later she comes in. Scotty, it's too late. The Gorn are here. Oh my god! No. Okay. But you got it done, didn't you?
Always works better under pressure.
I enjoyed those scenes, and they figure it out. They get this cloak thing to work, and we can go and we can watch what the Gorn are doing without being seen here.
Yep.
Right. So, kind of going.
Oh, and then also, just to interject, because you already started it. What was it, Uhura? And I don't know, maybe Una was involved in that as well. But they had discovered this kind of potential cycle that the Gorn are in. So again, putting in some more science in here, they have these long periods of hibernation and then periods where they're out terrorizing everybody.
Yeah, based upon like stellar activity.
Yes.
Yeah, and they figure that out. There's like a timeline.
Right. And like there's certain like well, like they basically use like light to more or less communicate, and then there's like this like radiation, I think is kind of how I understood it, like this like radiation kind of situation that basically will trigger like a sleep and hibernate kind of cycle. And that's where we kind of get this idea of, well, we need to turn into a star and basically do that. And then, of course, we get young Scotty in to kind of like talk about like this is what it would be, which would be very difficult, almost impossible to do. And then Pelly is kind of like, nudging him and like, quickly doing a schematic, and like it's like a 1 in 1,000 chance that things are going to work out. I like those odds. Thanks.
Let's
Mike.
do that.
We'll just turn it off
before we blow up.
let's do that.
Oh, man.
But I think before we even get to that point, we discover as we're watching like this binary sun system, right? And we see like Gorn ships fly to it, and I didn't. To me, I thought it almost, that first ship that we saw go through it, I was like, are they using these to like slingshot themselves somewhere? Yeah. But I guess they just like the provided some natural cloaking or something. The ships, is that like, I'm trying to understand exactly what happened, because I think they just disappeared, right?
It's my understanding that they it was the gravity or the whatever there, they were shutting everything off, right, to allow the natural like inertia from the two stars to just pull them and to kind of shield them so they get past it and go wherever they're going to go. That was my understanding, unless I completely got that wrong.
Yeah, it was a little like, because they looked like it was being slingshotted, the first one that went in between there, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like I took it as they shut everything off so they could go into free fall, and once they reached a certain point, then they could do the do.
Okay. Anyway, we theorized that this could be the Gorn homeworld, right?
Yeah.
And that's like naturally shielded by the radiation and whatever happens here, and by triggering this thing, we can get them all to go back home and go to sleep, just like we triggered the Borg to go to sleep.
We never repeat anything.
So let's get lit. You know what I'm saying?
We get some super slow-mo shots, super slow-mo, super close-up eyeball shots.
Yeah. we also at one point, they even incorporated sort of the camera flare too, with like Pike, is light in the background just flaring up. We got all sorts of special effects, just not enough pyro.
Yeah, Pyro guy didn't get to work in this episode.
Is he okay?
Yeah, where's Pyro Man?
Have we checked on him? We haven't seen him in a while.
Maybe they didn't bring him over from that set to this set.
I'm worried about him, guys.
Maybe he's the guy who just takes giant chunks out of the set and just has them hanging from, the ceiling. Maybe that's what he's just now demo guy.
Oh, man.
Anyway, it works. We fly through this thing.
Yes.
We get them all to go back home and go to sleep, and hopefully. And Pike said, what does Pike say? I hope we didn't just kick this down the road for somebody else. I don't know what his words are exactly.
Kind of.
Yeah, but we found a way to punch back.
But, like, what are his exact words? He says, I hope we didn't just create a problem for somebody else to solve later.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Yeah.
Which is a fair point, right? Like, hopefully we didn't just, like, press pause and we're going to start World War II, which is the same as World War I, just, 20 years later.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I think, that's more or less like it. Like,
now, there's one other thing. We have to talk about the Captain Patel stuff.
Well, that's what I was about to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were like, that's been for this episode.
No, I was going to say, like, that's about it, like, when it comes to, like, the Enterprise and the Gorn stuff. But, like, we still have, like, the sick bay of it all, like, with what happened at the end of part 1, right, where, you know, we have like one of them Gorn babies that's trying to like jump out Captain Batel, right? So like once these things hatch, man, and like they pop out the chest like freaking alien, it's not going to be good. So like with the last we saw Batel, like we were going to like put her like in stasis to like kind of try and preserve her, and we've gone through like we're going through like a couple different iterations of like how to treat her, right? Like we're running like these like we're giving her a sedative to kind of take some of the edge off, but to also kind of like try and knock her out so we can do stuff. Well, there's a bad reaction to the sedative, like she can't go under, so now we have to think of a different way to do it.
Cryostasis, has that ever been a thing before?
It
Can't put
now.
Somebody, can you put her in the transporter buffer and just cycle it? Like, I don't know. I feel like trying to do surgery in the middle of combat is probably not the best idea, right? I don't know if you've ever watched any like movie where there's a medic or a surgeon on the battlefield, and it doesn't
technically
go well.
accurate. It does happen.
Yeah, sure. But like also, and I want to say this, I know we want like our main characters to be the heroes, but like, are there no other doctors on this ship? Is Dr. Mbenga the only doctor on this ship? Shouldn't there? There's over 200 people on this ship, right?
Yeah, I feel like they kind of were talking at one
staff?
point. Yeah, but I think they were talking about like hurt people going into like an overflow section. So I have to imagine if you really wanted to explain that, like they're off tending to all the other people, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And this is sort of like trying to isolate because this could go really bad, I guess.
And I get like Spock is the science officer, right? He's the head of all the science departments, right? Like, you know, Sam Kirk is the head of life sciences, but he reports to the science officer. But like, is this the best use of your resources? If you want to know and use the resources of your group, is sending Spock down to sick bay, is his expertise better on the bridge or down in sick bay? Like, I get you're trying to put him and Chapel together, right? Because you're trying to ship that, right? And you want
this ain't FedEx, man.
I know, but like, I was like, is this the best place for Spock to be? Right. Like, I get he's a science officer, but he's not a medical doctor, right? There's got to be at least one other medical doctor or life sciences person you could send to help her.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But I get you want our crew and our main cast to be the heroes.
Yeah.
And they're working on it, and human blood doesn't work. So
let's use some Illyrian stuff.
Illyrian blood, right? They're supposed to find a good idea, right? Let's try different things. 86% failure rate. Yeah. Better than 100%.
Right.
I mean, from a statistical standpoint, like, let's talk about confidence intervals, shall we?
I gotta say, when they're getting ready to do her surgery, there's some gnarly looking makeup here.
It is.
Yeah.
Some bubbling out of her back.
That was good, though, right?
It was good. And then it, like, starts to speed up when they get closer to the Gorn homeworld.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, this is creepy.
How'd that go again?
I don't know. I can't. Don't ask me. Hit rewind.
Official sound effects right here.
Right. That's going on the board.
Put that on the soundboard.
That's right. It's going on the board. Right next to your filler button. I'll have an Eric row.
Anyway, Spock stops her because this is a bad idea, right? He knows it's a bad idea. We can't do this. Like,
we're thinking of all this like bass backwards. Like, let's just feed the thing inside, make it happy, make it, all sleepy, have like carb load it.
Give it some turkey. Tryptophan.
Some tryptophan, yeah.
Here we go. And then, when it least expects it, then we'll zap it with some Illyrian plasma. It'll be great.
So I guess I'm a little like confused on this as well. So like, they wanted to like go into like a food coma, right? Whatever, feed
Yes.
it, go into a food coma, and then
That's
is their
pork now.
plan to surgically remove them afterwards,
No.
or just leave them in there?
Leave them in there.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
it's
seems
like
really,
reabsorbing
really
it.
dangerous. Like, but are they gonna still be there? Are they gonna be like,
No.
like they're gonna be completely absorbed into her blood?
Yeah,
Why does
yeah.
making them go to sleep allow?
'Cause
I
it
guess-
calms them down, right? It's going to calm them down, and it's going to make them not active or a lot less active than they are. So because they're like smaller organisms as opposed to big old, killer dinosaur things, they're just going to keep it microscopic, basically. So it's just going to be seen as an infection, to which the Illyrian stuff is going to zap it and clear out. It's going to be seen as an infection, basically. So that
it's going to be completely gone. There's not going
That's
to
right.
be any residual
That's
traces of anything left.
That's according
that's how
to.
they're painting it. Yeah.
Yes, that's how they're painting it.
Seems very. I don't know if I would trust that. I don't know if Starfleet would trust that. Like, you, Captain Patel, here you're on the bridge of a ship. You're going to do some diplomatic mission. Boom, chest burster, right? Like, I don't know if I would trust her. Like, back
man.
on the bridge of a ship after this. Like,
I mean, we still have Terrarium like later this season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, if we can trust a 3D printed spine, we can trust some
I mean, the
some
gummy
special blood.
spine, old gummy worm, Worf's gummy worm spinal column.
If we can trust a gummy 3D printed spine, we can trust some magic blood.
yeah, so I don't know if your plan is to like wrap up this episode and give our final thoughts now, or do it all at the end.
What do y'all want to do? You want to double dip later, or you want to do her now?
I'm fine with doing it all at the end.
I just really felt like this was all very conveniently wrapped up. Like it was, maybe a little too much so conveniently wrapped up in a nice bow here in this first episode. I don't know.
That's what we call a tease, Eric. I guess we'll have to hear your thoughts at the end.
I know.
All right. Well, let's shift from killer dinosaurs and magic blood to love. Oh yeah.
Okay.
When you wish.
We did this predictions episode last week, and I was like looking at this episode title, Wedding Bell Blues, and I was like, who's getting married?
Yeah.
It's gotta be Pike and Battelle, right?
Nope.
And then David conveniently pointed out to me, it's called Wedding Bell Blues. So like, don't necessarily assume somebody is getting married and things are gonna go smoothly, right? That's why they added the word blues in there.
Right there.
I was like, this episode, it seems like this is a pattern this show is doing. We have this like harrowing mission we have to go on, right? And the stakes are high, like we did in season 1 with our first Gorn episode, Memento Mori. And then, we have a nice little fun Spock alternate reality episode, Spock Amok.
Yeah.
Season 2, we did Among the Lotus Eaters, where everybody lost their memory and no one knew who the hell we were. And then we have a fun little episode right after that, Charades, where Spock and T'Pring switch minds. Right?
Yep.
So, harrowing, action-packed episode, immediately followed by charming Spock, alternate, parallel, funny things going on, lighthearted episode. I'm very surprised they chose to do these 2 episodes on the same night, because it was very like jarring how different they were.
It's different.
Like I was kind of expecting like a family type episode. We have the best of both worlds, and then we have this emotional fallout, right? Like where now, Captain Patel here has to like, deal with what happened to her, and maybe she has some PTSD for it. Pike has to deal with almost losing her, and they have to like have come to blows or some realization, or Tegas has to like, suffer through her PTSD, which I feel like they're getting to that.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
they just kind of glossed over that. It's been 3 months. It's been 3 months since our encounter with the Gorn, and everything is fine now.
This is an episode of Love Island. That's what this is. This is like a reality dating show. How can we set up romance for the rest of the season for everybody?
I've never watched Love Island.
I haven't either. I just know what it is.
Right.
Right.
No, I
Ashley
don't really watch
watches
TV.
it. You're like,
He has it
how
on
can
his
you watch
DVR.
this
He watched
trash
it.
stuff?
No,
And
she
then
she
you're
definitely
like,
watches a lot of those type of shows, just
No.
not that one.
No, it's like those trashy shows your wife watches. And you're like, how can you watch this? And then you're like, I'm going in the other room, but you're like standing in the corner next to the wall, like secretly watching.
I'm looking at you, Bridgerton.
We may or may not have done that with like 90 Day Fiance or something.
Wow.
Or Love is Blind. I feel like I did
Yeah.
that with the Love is Blind
Yeah.
ones.
Well, okay. So, yeah, 3 months later, from all the shenanigans that happened in part 2, we have Ortegas and her brother, right? They're boxing. We have some family time, all right? So we're doing a little bit more than she flies the ship already. That's good. Almost lost 2 of her 10 digits. Got them back. Throwing haymakers. Okay, let's go. We have Battelle and Pike getting cozy and whatnot.
Yeah, so Patel here is like, Starfleet has offered me like a couple of different things, and I have to decide when I'm ready and which one I'm gonna take, and I'm not sure which. And like, hey, maybe I don't go anywhere. Maybe I just stay here and we be all lovey-dovey, or maybe you resign, you come with me, and we be lovey-dovey over there.
And then there's no room for all your hair product. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's kind of a fun call out, though.
Yeah.
Oh man! And then we have, let's see, La'an and Spock doing some dance lessons.
Okay, I just gotta say here, like La'an, man, this is like a tough, badass person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I get like you don't need her to be just the tough badass the entire time, right? Like Kira Nerys didn't need to be the tough badass the whole time. Like
Tasha Yar.
There was a softening, right? You know, we saw Kira like become soft, and it wasn't Odo that made her soft. I think it was Jadzia. And I don't want to say soft in the sense that like she wasn't still a badass, because she always was.
She was rough around the edges, and
the edges, and they kind of like
there's some
rounded her
softening.
out.
Yes.
Yeah, but she was still a badass. Like no
Yes.
one can say she wasn't, and I think Jadzia had more to do with it than Odo did, right?
Yeah.
But like this is a hard turn, I think, for La'an. She's here. She's like, you know, my demon, like, you know, it was out there. You know, the monster in the closet or under the bed was out there, and it's gone now. So I don't have to be tough anymore. I can be like a soft, feminine character. It's kind of like a really sharp turn for me. Seeing her dancing, I don't like it looked wrong. I don't know, to me. And then also seeing her in like the dress, like the dress outfit, kind of looked a little wrong to me. Right? When I see Una in it makes sense. When you see like Uhura in it makes sense. It just, I don't know, it looked wrong to me. It looked wrong for the character that we have known for these past 2 seasons. I don't know if anybody else feels that way or not.
I mean, I thought it was. I enjoyed seeing her in the little skirt.
I don't know.
I
don't know. I feel like it was too fast. Like we rounded the edges a little bit too quickly.
Well, the thing that I noticed, I might be getting a little ahead of myself, like with like especially the dancing, was how she was like looking at Spock at different points in the episode. Did anyone else notice that, or is that?
Yeah,
just me?
I was. Yeah. Yes, I was like, we tried to pair her with Kirk last season. Oh, that didn't work, right?
Right.
Kirk's got a baby on the way. Are we
Right.
gonna try to like pair her now with Spock? Because
Well, that's exactly what it looked like at the end.
it
Yes.
looked Yes.
She had this very longing look on her face at the end of the episode.
Like, you don't need romance.
Well, so I think it depends on how they develop it, but you just have to jump into it for this point. So this is Christine's kind of homecoming after her deal with Roger Corby. And she comes back and is basically like, oh, here's Dr. Corby, my date, after Spock gives her some old book, which every girl loves. And then it kind of makes you wonder if it's more of like, do I feel sorry for him more so than like I want to jump on him, Is it something like that? I mean, I don't personally think it felt like that in the episode, but like you could kind of present it. It's like, I'm here for you. I am your friend. And it could even be a thing where Spock gets the wrong idea and she pulls back. It's like, no. Like, I'm your friend type of deal too. It just didn't quite look like that for the episode.
Oh, it didn't look like that.
No.
So yeah, we have Corby who shows up, right? Where Spock is like,
he doesn't need quarters.
well.
Right? That's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we have a lovesick Spock, more or less, who's just, I guess he's just more interested in seeing his friend again and just kind of seeing like, where they're going to land at, will they, won't they kind of situation, and it's complicated by the arrival of Corby. And this event that's taking place is supposed to be the centennial of the founding, and I just want to say this because like they don't show up, but like I feel like this was a missed opportunity to have like T'Pol, appear. Like of all the Enterprise folks, like T'Pol could have been the one that showed up at this. Like, and I get that it was like kind of like a dramedy kind of episode, so like there was like just the comedy aspect of it and like the comedy of errors kind of situation going on, but like having that connection, right, between like Archer's era, the early exploration, and 100 years later for a Vulcan and a lifespan, and I'm pretty sure she's like full-blooded Vulcan, so like she wouldn't have, it would have been very plausible to have her show up.
She'd be about like 160, 170 basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, which is totally doable for a Vulcan.
Absolutely. So I was a little bummed that T'Pol or just someone from like the Enterprise era didn't show up, but whatever.
Well, just kind of like anybody, maybe I missed it, but was there really any pomp about any sort of dignitaries or anybody, admirals or anything like that? Nope. It was just kind of our crew, right?
Yeah, well,
I mean, granted the premise of the story, but like
you've got to assume that there was some big ball or something on the space station, right? All the celebration wasn't happening on our ship, so all those dignitaries and people would have been on the station.
Yeah, this isn't the arboretum you're looking for. It's the arboretum down the hall. Got it.
Yeah. Right. We're going to the Centennial Gala will be in Biopod 3. Anyway, so that happens. We have the awkward turtle kind of moment, like with everyone meeting, and here's my book. Hope you enjoy it.
Corby was more excited about the book.
Right.
It's like, that's a sick book, bro.
And the fact that Spock read or knew about all 234 of his articles, which, as an academic, holy crap, 234 articles.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, even for open access journal systems. Holy crap, man. Ooh.
Yeah, and then they all meet in the bar later on, right?
Right, and talking about this cool bracelet, which it did look kind of cool. Like the visual effects was pretty good on that. And then Spock kind of walks away, kind of sulks at the bar, and we get a little reimagining of our dear friend Trelane.
Yeah, I get that it's credited that way, but like we're never given that name. The name Trelane is never said in this episode, is it?
No, and I watched it twice.
Yeah. So we're just supposed to have to like assume that that's who this is.
Yeah, you kind of have to assume.
Well, I mean, like, I think like early like teasers, right? Like early cast reveals had Rise Darby credited as Trelane, right?
He's credited as that in the episode and on IMDb and everything.
Yeah,
but like that name is never mentioned, so you're just supposed to have to like assume.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But Spock tells him, "I wish things could be different, but better, or better but different." Yeah. I don't know what does he say. Different but better, better but something like that.
Yeah. And like the rest of the episode, it just seems like it's like almost like a pseudo tapestry kind of thing. You know, like he has a drink and he wakes up with Chapel next to him, you know, on the day of their wedding, or what's supposed to be the day of their wedding, and everyone is in on it, type of thing.
Except for one
person. Except for Roger Corby. Yeah. Which he ends up like eventually like going through like a variety of like, you know, wedding day things, like, you know, trying food, which you would have done that before your wedding day. Let's be honest.
That didn't really look like a rehearsal, did it?
No. No.
Granted, I didn't have a rehearsal, but it didn't look like a rehearsal.
We had a rehearsal, and no. No. But yeah, like you have all that, and then like it's just a matter of like, you know, Spock getting all sorts of irritated and like decking him in the face, and like that's supposed to like, you know, jolt him back to reality of like, oh yeah, you're right, bud.
No, so Corby breaks into his quarters, tries to explain it to him. No, that's not. This just should not be right. This is not what's real. Correct. You know, and then Spock punch. He gets mad. Spock gets mad because he's still learning to control his emotions here with the things that he's went through, and you know, anger is a powerful. Like Corby says, like anger and rage are powerful emotions, right? And maybe it's powerful emotions that that woke you from this thing.
Yeah.
And then there's a really kind of a funny moment. It's like they're trying to figure out, is it what are the things that could be causing it, right? Was there some science-y things? I forget what but they talk through a bunch of different options, right? And then finally they settle on one is like an entity that's altering perception. It's like, but why weren't you affected by it? And Corby goes, maybe like my superior intellect didn't allow me to like be affected by it. But Spock is like, I assure you, if one of our intellects would like, it would not be yours. Burn! Like, what a stick burn.
Yeah, so we go from there to eventually like a bachelor party of sorts for Spock, and
I assure you, my feet are quite warm.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to point that out, by the way. Like,
yeah, because he's trying to make people mad to get them to come out of it, and up to Sam Kirk.
Oh God, yeah, he gave
everyone loves your brother. People like your brother more, and everyone hates your mustache. That's the closing line of his like trying to make him mad.
Yep.
That was terrible.
I mean, there's some good comedy in this episode.
Yep. And I like how they ask like, you know, what's the guest list, right? And they say it's the crew, and it's like all these guests, and like identify, you know, who's here that's maybe not part of the list, and that's how we figure out, hey, this Trelane dude. Well, they don't say Trelane, but hey, it's this dude. Let's go find him. And then it gets like all sorts of creepy in the bar all over again. As they confront him, and like there are threats, and then we get to like eventually the wedding, where it just kind of plays out, and Corby, he gets up at one point during the ceremony and tries to say, "I object," which I've never I've never known anyone where that's ever happened. Like, personally.
That doesn't happen.
No. It's... Anyway.
I'm sure it has happened.
Probably.
Okay, sure, but it's not a thing anymore.
It only happens in TV, David. Come on, man.
Or in Alabama.
And certain parts of Columbus, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Maybe.
So, I like how Spock does this. Like, when they're at the altar and, like, the ceremony's going on, and he basically recites the same thing that Corby said to Chapel, right? That made her fall for Corby. And it really, like, it jostles her and, like, knocks some sense into her. And, like, yeah, like this sweet, tender moment, like, between Spock and Chapel. And, like, I never told you my mom's name, or my birthday or whatever. And then, you know, Trillane's, like, not too happy. Like, no, this isn't supposed to happen.
Well, I like the fact that they're talking about power. Corby and Spock are talking about powerful emotions that, like, jostled him out of it, like rage and anger. And so they try to use rage and anger to, like, knock some other people out of it, like Sam Kirk, and it doesn't work. But then Spock is like, well, yeah, rage and anger are powerful emotions, but so is love. Mm-hmm. And maybe, like, I could go a different route. Like, and I like maybe it's a little hokey, like love conquers all or love triumphs over all, but, like, it fits with the, like, what Star Trek is. Like, we're not solving all of our problems by rage and anger and fighting, but we're solving our problems through more positive emotions. And I really like that moment. It's a good monologue, and like, it snaps her out of it. I liked it. I thought it was done really well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, as much as, you know, I joked about, you know, everybody just hooking up in this episode or whatever, it is a very powerful emotion. I even just remembered for the first episode when Captain Pike goes in to see Battelle after everything had sort of happened, and he's so distraught that he starts to pray, which I actually found a bit jarring in a Star Trek episode, because religion and Star Trek have never really meshed. You know what I mean? But he's, like, doing all the bargaining and everything. It's like, whatever it takes, just make sure she's okay and everything. It's interesting to see that play out here as well, you know, because for Spock, he's not just going to take the fantasy,
right?
You know, especially if that, you know, eventually all fantasies fade. So,
yeah.
There's
they make a really cool Twilight Zone joke here too. If you caught it, anybody catch the Twilight Zone joke here? So before the wedding, like, Roger Corby comes up and is like, well, we just got to play along with it because he's threatened to, like, send us all out to the cornfield.
Oh,
right. There's an episode. It's called not It's a Wonderful Life, but it's something to that effect, right? It's got Bill Mumy in it, right? He's the little kid who's the monster who everyone has to, like, do what he says or he'll send them to the cornfield, which is where he has a way of killing them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not It's a Wonderful Life, but it's something to that effect. Like, it's...
Well, I'll bring up, like, some of the emotion side stuff during my my rating portion, I suppose. Or no, when we get to the deltas, that's what I'll do. But here's the thing that comes up next. Like,
It's a Good Life. There we go. Sorry.
There you go, Eric. We have this...
Wonderful Life is a Christmas movie.
Yes.
No, it's not, actually.
It totally is. I watch it every year at Christmas. Leave me
Just because something takes place at Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Okay, anyway.
I'm the captain. It's a thing. We have this blue comet, like wisp kind of thing coming in. And it's the booming voice of our next-gen heckler, John Delancey's Q. How do we feel about that, guys?
I have some thoughts, right? So here we say this Trelane, I guess we're going to go with it, is a child, right? But he's 8,000 years old or something like that.
8,020.
But, like, there are moments where Q in The Next Generation says, well, the Q didn't come into existence. The Q have just always existed, right? So they're, like, ancient. And they've also said in Voyager, right, there are no new Q, right? There's just Q out here. We haven't had any new Q in forever, which is why we've run out of ideas, and which is why the continuum is starting to fracture. So I'm going to be a rogue and create a child, right? And Q and the other Q, the lady Q, right? They have a child, baby Q, right? And the baby Q comes back, right, in later episodes. So, like, this would seem to contradict all of that. All of it. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't feel very positively about that. It seems like we're trying to shoehorn something in that has been like a fan theory for like a long time. And I know we read that book years ago where Q squared, where it like Trelane is a Q, and so they're trying to bring that in here. But like, why does he have to be a child? Couldn't he just be a miscreant, right? A rogue that's like, we've told you, don't provoke the Borg, don't provoke these people, you know, like somebody like the Q that they trapped into a comet. Like, he could just be a rogue guy. Why does he have to be a child? I don't know. It doesn't seem to fit with what we've established. I don't like it.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan either. In the original Trelane episode, he obviously had parents, you know, that came for him and stopped him from screwing with the Enterprise crew and all that. We get that. You know, if you want to do the Q thing, okay. I think it kind of jumps the gun a little bit. It just didn't really feel right to me.
When I was watching this with my wife, she's like, that guy seems kind of Q-ish. Is he a Q? And I'm like, well, that's complicated.
Yeah. Because
of the book and because of how this ends. But I couldn't tell her how it ended without spoiling things. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think it's interesting in a way, you know, that they're taking, you know, they're certainly taking liberties, but, you know, like taking like the long fan theory and even like the book with Q squared and kind of canonizing it. I know like canonizing can be kind of like a dirty term in the fandom. But I mean, yeah, it does make it, I guess, a little interesting. Like how's that going to like really, is that going to impact Squire of Gothos, you know, when that happens in the not too distant future?
Well, the other thing though with that is that although Q is, Trelane, my lord, now I'm doing it. Trelane's technically disguised, so he appeared as a Vulcan bartender and as an Andorian. So maybe you could make the case that they don't know what Trelane looks like at all. The sheer fact that they run into him and he displays that sort of power. I know you can't go back in time, but it's kind of like, well, they've been involved in this before. I'm not saying you can be better prepared, but you could at least like kind of, you have more of a basis.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And in that episode, they don't know, but they do. At least Spock would.
Yeah, and Uhura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, you know, I can save it till the end, but I thought it was kind of a weird idea to put out there to do a Trelane episode. I know people like Q's. I'm not necessarily the biggest Q fan in general. Just sort of seemed like a weird swing there.
Sure. Well, it's like, like a nostalgia hit, like having.
Yeah, but I feel like we've done Q.
We
Q.
have. We had like all of Picard season 2 and then a tease in season 3, right? We had all of Next Gen.
We've done it.
We had a drop, a little cameo in Lower Decks with Q, right? So yeah, we've had a lot of Q lately, like the last 2 or 3 ish years. But yeah, like just moving past that, like, okay, so Trelane is, I guess, a Q now, calling Q Dad. Okay, here we are. Okay, we get past this, and Pike gives like an awkward kind of welcome. Bars open. Let's enjoy
I kind of thought it was funny, honestly.
Yeah, sure, it was funny.
It's like, I don't know what just happened, but drinks.
But Scotty doesn't drink.
Okay.
But hold on.
He does order, yeah.
But that was part of the delusion, though. So how do we know that what Trelane didn't impact that part of him?
Yeah,
well, he does order a pint of Guinness at the end.
Yeah, he didn't want the liquor that'll chew through your entire body, apparently.
Yeah.
So it's just esophagus cleaner. It's fine.
It's whatever.
It's not blue. It's not green.
Yeah. So yeah, La'an and Spock dance.
We do the jitterbug to George Michael.
By the way, out of all of the dance music that would have survived hundreds of years, Wham!
Yeah.
I just wanted to see like like a little Zoolander thing. We're gonna start throwing gas at each other next, Here comes Ben Stiller with a cameo.
Oh, brother. Yeah, so like people are doing their thing, and then Ortegas, she's kind of doing her thing off in the corner, and then next thing we see, she's over in the rec room punching a bag, and she's got some trauma, right? She's having these thoughts and like visions, or this mental images of like the Gorn and like what happened.
Yeah, I like that we didn't just let that go. Like there's got to be something there. I mean, I hope they do it better than like the Detmer thing.
Yeah.
God, I did it again, didn't I?
Yeah. No, but they didn't do anything with Detmer, unfortunately. That was.
But guys, they both flew the ship.
That's true.
They did. They were both the pilots.
So maybe Ortegas is gonna do some like sweet Millennium Falcon piloting, and she'll be okay.
Pike does notice that though,
as
she's leaving.
Mm-hmm. He's a good. I mean, he's really dialed into his crew. So like, I'm sure he'll say something in his own way in the near future.
Yeah. One last thing I want to interject here. Why did we spend so long on this bartender, and is this going to be a character I have to care about later on?
Probably.
Are we trying to create a new Guinan? Like their
That's
Guinan?
exactly what I thought.
Me, the ship's counselor?
Boy.
Why not?
You tell all your problems to a bartender, right?
That's right. Did I choose the wrong profession, guys?
I've never told any of my problems to a bartender. I'm just going to put that out there. Every show needs its bartender, right? We got Guinan, we got Quark, and that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Oh, and Scotty, I guess, kind of, yeah. All right, is that it? Please tell me that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we got through 2 episodes pretty quickly.
Quickish, yeah. All right, so if this is your first time tuning in and you're hearing us talk about this thing called the Delta, we're going to talk about how well the different divisions of Starfleet were represented in these 2 episodes. So looking at command, science, and then our operations, which also includes engineering and operations or security. So let's start with hegemony, since that's the first one. I think science is there, very evidently so. I think engineering is very much there, and command is 1,000% there. I think it's an easy sweep.
We're good on that one.
For very obviously.
I mean, but like it's command not just from Pike, but like command from like Pelia. I think she's good there. I think Admiral April, like listening to Pike, like here's what we want to do, but he listens to him and he gives him some rope. So it's not just Pike. It's like I think it's like all the way around.
Right. Yes.
Well, and then just as a minor drop in here too, like I think you also give a slight nod to Ortega's literal guts hanging out, still does her job, still, effectively they're kind of in her hands. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just slopping blood on the floor. So,
yeah, they were. I mean, like, I feel like each of them in the various places they were, right? They all had a chance to bring their knowledge, their expertise in a very subtle way, right? Like even with George, or Sam, I'm sorry, with Sam, right? Even with Sam, like, I mean, he's a life sciences dude. He's like, I think this is like a thing, like for like excretion or whatever, like whatever he said, like he's like pointing out like this biological fact of like, or potential biological fact of like where they're at. So yeah, like I think all around, like everyone was doing their thing well. All divisions were represented well in the choices that were made in this particular episode.
Yep.
So, Wedding Bell Blues, episode 2.
I mean, I don't know if the point of any of it was to do deltas, was it?
I mean, they did scans of the ship to find anomalies. Scotty, who was in the transport room running the transporter, picked up an anomaly that they didn't really look into at the time.
You're grasping.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right, let's roll into the ratings. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a dumpster fire and 10 being absolutely amazing. Let's see, who wants to go first? Eric, how about you, buddy? Eric, how do you rate each of these episodes?
Well, I kind of said earlier, like, I think Hegemony Part 2, it was a little too neat for me at the end. I mean, we solved everything very, very easily. It seemed easy to me. Like, we turned on our cloak, it worked, right? No issues with that. We got in, we did some reconnaissance, we did some research. We came up with the idea to do our fly between our Icarus, fly too close to the sun thing, but we'll turn it off before our wings completely melt down maneuver, and it just worked, right? We were doing our escape, right? Our 4 people on this Gorn ship, and we just escaped. Maybe it wasn't easy because Ortegas did get impaled, but we got onto the ship and we found the codes pretty easily, and it seemed easy. We're working to save Captain Patel here, and it just seemed easy to me. And it seemed like at the end of the day the stakes weren't high enough. I was like, oh, are we going to lose Ortegas? Kind of the same way, oh, are we going to lose Awusha-kun in Discovery? No, we didn't, right? We saved her. I was thinking like the whole 2 years, are we going to lose Captain Patel here? No, we didn't. It seemed like she's going to be fine, and it doesn't seem like there are any lingering effects because all things got absorbed. So I don't know. I just felt like it was easy and it got wrapped up, but I did enjoy it. I did think it was good. I feel like I probably enjoyed part 1 a little bit more. I feel like I probably enjoyed the Gorn episodes more before, because I think those ones leaned more into the horror. This leaned into like sort of like action. I mean, I gave part 1 an 8.6. I mean, this is probably an 8.4. It's like, I think part 1 was like a little bit better, so I'll give this an 8.4. As far as Wedding Bell Blues, I don't understand the point of this episode. Like, it's like, yeah, there were some good comedy moments, but like, I'm kind of over like the Spock like day off alternate reality something gone wrong. I don't get what they're trying to do here. Like, we know Spock and Chapel don't end up together. Like, why are we trying to make it happen? Stop trying to make fetch happen. I just don't get it. Like, the whole Q thing and Trelane, I don't know, it doesn't work for me. And like, yeah, it was funny. I laughed at a couple of moments, but I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep the first time I was watching this episode. I had to like turn it back on because I was tired, but like I fell asleep. So like, I don't know if that's a ringing endorsement of this episode. Like, I look back at Charades from last season, I gave a 6.2, which ouch, right? Like, Spock Amok, I gave an 8.6, so like I enjoyed that. I don't get this episode, but like, it was funny. It made me laugh, so maybe like a 7. I don't know if that's being generous or if that's being harsh, but I'll go with it.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, like I was really digging Hegemony Part 2. I think like all of us, and of course we'll hear David's thoughts here in a second. But I was kind of thinking that Battelle was going to kind of, bite the dust and go off into the final frontier, you know what I'm saying? And then she miraculously survived, so good for her. Yeah, like Hegemony was really good. There was a lot of back and forth tension. I thought there was a lot of really good moments that was occurring in this in it, and for the most part it was pretty satisfying, having to wait 2 years for the conclusion. I just want to say that I had to check IMDb. I do my best to not check IMDb prior to doing this, like these discussions with you guys, because I want to go in like not knowing what ratings are. I had to see if they had like composited Majel Barrett's voice, because like when they were talking to the computer, to me, guys, it sounded pretty darn close to Majel Barrett. It's not her, by the way. It's someone that is a pretty decent sound alike, but I don't know. That just made me happy. Like, made the enjoyment of the first episode that much more for me. Interested to kind of see what they do with Battelle. I kind of think she should probably go back to like the JAG office or something. I do think it's kind of an interesting kind of switch, right? I think I might have mentioned this in like our thoughts and predictions episode, but where Pike was when the series started, with like being very apprehensive about returning to service, and she's kind of egging him on, like, come on, you're getting called, you're getting hailed like all the time, like let's go, and now it's switched, right? Maybe he's not egging her on, like, other than like, I want you around, I'm not ready to let go yet, and she isn't sure what she wants to do, so she's just kind of cool, like kind of coasting. I'm kind of like reading between the lines on that. I thought there was a lot of really good character development, good character moments across the board, like in the big and the small moments. I think I'm in like a pretty similar camp to what Eric was saying. Gosh, what did I give? I gave Hegemony an 8.3 2 years ago. Yeah, I was kind of thinking, I was originally thinking an 8, but I think I'll be a little bit more generous. I'll bump it up to an 8.2 for Hegemony. And then Wedding Bell Blues, I didn't mention this in the Delta like I said I was going to, but like from a mental health standpoint, like one of the things that we use in the counseling room, and if you've ever, anyone in listener land or even you guys have ever been to like any kind of counseling, there might be like a picture like on a wall, like with faces that kind of like help you identify emotions, or there might be like a pillow or another chart that's like a feelings wheel, where it kind of has like these core emotions and they kind of like branch out to like secondary and third emotions. And for the most part, like what was happening was pretty spot on in terms of like the anger, right, being like that top kind of thing, and then even like the love and the affection, that's probably more of like a secondary, kind of like branching off from like happy, among other things, happiness. But those are stronger emotions. So like it lines up with what was being theorized. Rise Darby, man, like I don't know him from too much. My wife remembers him from something. I remember
wasn't
him...
he the lizard in the Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield?
No, that's a different
No?
dude. Yeah, it's a different guy.
That guy's name was Reese, wasn't it?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know.
I mean, I remember him from the X-Files, like 10th season or 11th season, whatever it was, that came back a couple of years back. And he was this weird dude. The Lost Art of Forehead Sweat, I think was the name of the episode. Or maybe it was Mandela Effect. I don't know. It was some episode like that where it dealt with like the Mandela Effect, and he was just really weird, and it was like one of my least favorite episodes. I didn't mind him. Like, I mean, I remember Squire of Gothos, so I felt like he did a pretty decent job channeling Trelane, but it was just a weird episode, and I'm getting to that point, guys. Like, I'm kind of with you, Eric, where I'm starting to get to that point where I am wanting to like maybe do a little bit more with Spock than just like the, Lieutenant Spock on holiday kind of situation. But I really like the moments like with Chapel. I like seeing Scotty. I mean, I like Scotty so far. But I don't know. This was one that I was kind of like looking away from. It wasn't super engaging, but it wasn't complete garbage either. The cue of it all at the end was kind of, it was good without it completely breaking, Q proper, because like we don't see him until Encounter, so keeping him just as like a little blue wisp I thought was good. I don't really know what else to say about this episode. I do think there was a missed opportunity with having like T'Pol show up, or maybe they asked her, I don't know, maybe they asked Jolene Blaylock to show up and she just couldn't or didn't want to, who knows. This was an okay episode, and yeah, Eric, I'm just gonna go with you, man. I'm just gonna give it a 7. So David, do your thing.
Okay. Yeah, Hegemony I like, but like I understand kind of where Eric was coming from. It sort of just seemed like it should have been a longer episode. Like if you took the 20 minutes at Spacebar from Wedding Bell Blues and then just applied it to Hegemony, maybe it would have been a little better. I don't know. They did wrap up things in a pretty neat little bow, but I mean that's not necessarily wholly unique. I actually was pretty engaged in watching it and everything. I don't know. I mean, I just thought it was overall a good story. I mean, we talked about it having all the deltas. They threw a lot in there, and I think pretty much all of our pretty much all of our characters kind of had a little bit of a good moment in there, and he just shoved a lot in. I actually came in with the same score as Eric, so 8.4 is what I was gonna where I was gonna go with that as well. But yeah, overall, good start to a season, and again, nice to see a two-parter. Wedding Bell Blues. So the only thing I'll say about this is I think if we had 22, 24 episode season or whatever, we wouldn't have thought twice about this episode, even with that. But it would have been a little bit tempered, because you're not. To me, it kind of feels like with these short seasons, it's like, please stop wasting time. This is an episode that I could have easily seen, something like this in original series. Oh wait, we already did. So anyway, it's kind of a bit of a copy thing. I'm a little over the whole Spock love quadrilateral thing or whatever it is now, because it's like wife and chapel and now maybe this person, and but it was fun. It made me laugh a couple of times, but it just kind of seemed like a little bit of a waste of just a waste in the grand scheme of things, and hopefully we pick back up and start just for my taste making better use of a 10 episode season. But with that said, I didn't hate it. I thought that the tail end of the episode sort of seemed to go on a little too long. Like it was a lot of the bartender thing and the jitterbug and all this stuff. It's like, okay, that's cool, but like you were pretty much done, and then you just it was like literally 5 extra minutes, so it's not much, but it sort of seemed like you dragged on the ending a little bit, where maybe you didn't have to as much. I will say though, one other quick thing. So far this season has looked really nice. Like cinematically, it's looked really nice to me, which I appreciate. So, but yeah, as far as the rating for it, I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It's a little rehashy in certain respects. Like Chase, I think it said it's a little bit tapestry, a little bit original series Trelane and all that. So I think I'll probably just agree with you guys and just go 7. And it's not necessarily something I'd go back and watch again though.
Okay. All right. And just because I can, and these scores are arbitrary for the most part, I'm just going to make mine an 8.4 for Hegemony because I can.
Okay. I don't know if you can do that, because in all honesty, like 2 episodes back to back where we all did the same exact thing is really weird. So now I'm just kidding. I don't want to change anything.
Anyway, there we go. Okay. So we're 2 episodes in out of the 10 for this season. Space Adventure Hour, I'm assuming that's going to probably be like some of like the murder mystery type of episode, I'm guessing.
So we're gonna have 2 of these little comedy day offy episodes in a row?
I mean, it seems like that.
Yep.
Okay.
So
that's a choice.
Or am I getting my episodes mixed up? I'm sorry. Shuttle to Kenfori.
No, the Space Adventure Hour is next, isn't it? No.
Wait, Chihuahua. Hold on. This is a good podcast.
No, Shuttle to Kenfori is next.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I have them mixed up.
Okay. So it's not a choice then.
Yeah. Shuttle to Kenfori. So there we go.
There we go.
All right. Well, I guess we'll be back next time to talk about that. But I just wish we had more. I wish we had more.
20%. We're 20% done.
You and your dang math. Stop it.
2 out of 10 is pretty easy, right?
All right, fine. All right, guys. Well, as always, thanks for the conversation. And, all you out there in listener land, I hope you enjoyed the episodes. And, I know, like, our household, like, we were all watching it together. We were all enjoying it together. One of my kids got a little scared, like, at the Gorn doing their thing in the digestive tract and gutting Ortegas. But for the most part, like, we were all enjoying it together, which is, it's fun being able to watch Trek as a family. But anyway, we will leave it be. Thanks as always. And anyways, out there in listener land, if you want to get in contact with us, you know what to do. trtvpod@gmail.com or send us a voice only, 817-752-4757. There's a 3-minute limit, so watch out for that. Other than that, if you want to mail us something like, I don't know, Scotty's notebook of notes, make sure you get that to us. Lone Star Station, P.O. Box 2455, Azle, Texas 76098. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. And as always, remember to boldly go and make it so.